that's why this is important. And if the candidate comes out of South Carolina with a resounding victory, then that whole SEC, the primary that looks like it's going to take place, all of that's going to take your recommendation. And what happens? Our values arrive in the Oval Office with a president who believes like we do. And all of the things that I have the privilege to do, like writing pieces of legislation, introduce them, try to get them passed into law, all of that pales in comparison to what all of us together can do to get the right president. And if you don't think about that maybe the same way that I do, I'll tell you, look how much President Obama has affected policy in this country from the Oval Office. I mean, not very much if you took out the unconstitutional stuff. But the unconstitutional stuff is a very troubling component of this. I mean, the most important thing the next President of the United States must do is restore this Constitution back to the text of its original meaning. President Obama has violated this Constitution over and over again, multiple times on Obamacare, multiple times on immigration. And I've asked the question, so he's defied Article 1 of the United States Congress and the law, and decided he can make up his own laws, and he's also decided that he'll ignore the laws he doesn't want to enforce, even though he takes an oath to take care that the laws be faithfully executed. Even though. And so, we know that he defies Article 1, the Congress, but I've been asking the question now for a year or more, what happens when there's a confrontation between President Obama and Article 3, the courts? Will he defy the courts as he does the Congress? Now we know he has. With the order of Judge Hainan just the other day, they continue to issue the unconstitutional lawless amnesty work permits that are coming out of DHS, even though Judge Hainan ordered them to stop. So we need to, and time is a little short to accomplish that, but we need to restore this Constitution. The next president needs to do that, and I wanted to give you a piece of hope, and it works something like this. You know, a lot of people will agree that Jimmy Carter wasn't a great president, but maybe the best thing he did was, prepared this country to vote for a conservative, principled president, and he gave us Ronald Reagan. If that makes you happy, think of this. When I compare Jimmy Carter to Barack Obama, I didn't think I'd ever say this, I actually miss Jimmy Carter. But if Jimmy Carter gave us Ronald Reagan, think how great our next president will be. President will be a president that will give us a strong national defense. He'll be a president who will identify our enemy, radical Islam. Our next president will be a president that will identify how we defeat that ideology of radical Islam, that'll have the comfort of knowing that the United States defeated a number of ideologies within a half a century in the 20th century. Defeated Japanese imperialism and Italian fascism and German Nazism, and it took 45 years of the Cold War to defeat the USSR in the Cold War. We should not think we cannot defeat an ideology. Yes, we can do that. We need to do cyber warfare against them, offensive and defensive. Shut off their money wherever it comes from, wherever it transfers through, and wherever it goes. We need to shut down their misinformation educational effort all over the world wherever we can. We need to build a strong alliance with the moderate Muslim countries so that they will work with us. We need to improve our global human intelligence so then when we target our kinetic action, it's as effective as it can be. And we need to honor our noble military wherever they are, however they serve our country. You know, people expect me to bring up the topic of immigration for some reason. I just don't think I need to say that much, but here's how I describe it. I want to build a fence, a wall, and a fence on the southern border. And, you know, we're building 4-lane interstates across Iowa through the expensive cornfields. We're putting 2 fences there, 4 lanes of highway. We seed it, we grade it, we engineer it, we pay for the archaeological, the environmental. We're doing all that for $4 million a mile. And we're spending $6 million a mile for every mile of our southern border every year. And most of it doesn't even have a fence. So I don't say build 2,000 miles of fence. I just say build that fence till they stop going around the end. That's how we'll figure out how long we have to build it. And we need to restore the respect for the rule of law. And so, you know, often there'll be things come out in the press that says Steve King's anti-immigrant, and I go back that you can find no statement I've ever made that would support that allegation. But they're conflating legal and illegal immigrants together to try to get you to not be able to think straight. And of course you do, they don't. And you think straight, they don't think straight. So here's what I would say. Immigration's really, there's a way I can make an accommodation. I did this in a debate once when my opponents challenged me, and I just said, I'm for open borders. And that did get their attention. And I said, well, sure, every time we let an immigrant in, we'll deport a leftist. I'll make that deal all day long. You know, we can build an even greater country if we do that. We'll ruin a lot of others by shipping them out. But we can build an even greater country. And then here's what I'm going to ask you to do. What I do is that this country needs its soul restored. It has been badly damaged over the last 6 years. My prayer is that God raises up a leader whom he will use to restore the soul of America.